Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation where you flow your presence enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together.
Boom, back in the studio, it's your man Mo. Welcome to another session of DBDS Live. Mel Money, hit him up, baby.
Hey, what's going on, my peoples? What's going on, my DBDS family? Listen, we have an exciting show for you today. But before we get started, we're going to talk about the mission statement and what DBDS stands for. So we promote thoughtful relationship topics on social media, our live show, and other outlets to help people to become a better version of themselves. We want people to embrace respect, love, loyalty, and have a healthy relationship within themselves. And in doing so, you will have to change how you are and not change who you are. A better version of yourself creates healthier relationships. Healthier relationships create healthier families, and healthier families create healthier communities. So let's get it on, my peoples.
There it is right there. So, hey, all you DBDS people watching, welcome to the show. Glad to have you joining us again. Today is going to be a crazy show. We got some amazing guests coming at you. Today, we're going to be talking about why do nice guys finish last? And also, I'm gonna put it in two contexts. For the proper people, is the other women winning? And if you want the slang, are the side pieces winning? Either way, we're gonna be touching upon it. We're gonna be talking upon it. All right. So right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm about to bring one of our guests in, right out of Georgia. We bringing in Tya. Welcome to the show, Tya.
Hey, everybody.
What's going on?
Hey.
Uh-oh. Look like we got a blackout on your screen. Can't see you right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put you on pause till we fix it, and we bring you right back. In the meantime, we're gonna bring in our other guests straight out of Connecticut, straight out of Compton, straight out of Connecticut. Miss Portia. What's up, Portia?
What's up, DBDS? How are you?
Good.
Going on.
Glad to have you here. Listen, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Portia. I am also known as Transformation Coach Portia. I am an author and a coach and your sit, sip, and chat queen. I have a very small mentoring coaching business in Connecticut, but we are international, and I am internationally certified to help transform your lives. So again, Mo and Mel, thank you as well for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, our pleasure. All right. Looks like we might have Tya all set straight out of Georgia. We're bringing her in now. I think she's banging now. Boom. What's up, Tya?
Hey.
Hey, Mo and Mel. What's up, DBDBS? How you doing?
It's all good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. No complaints.
Okay.
All right. Get the people a little overview of yourself there.
So I'm Tya Newton, author of various relationship books. I'm a relationship coach and lover. I love relationships. I love love. And I am happy to join you guys today.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to be talking about some controversial topics. We're going to get this kicked off. Mel Money, I see you sweating, brother. But
I'm sweating already, brother.
Listen, we got to do this, man. Listen, we got
let me get my wine ready,
Yeah, go ahead and take a sip if you need to. You ready to jump into this, bro?
I'm ready to jump onto this. So we have this section called the Anonymous section where people post their relationship issues and they come to our site for some guidance, some way to help elevate the relationship. So it states here that, please help me. I am going through hell. I'm 28 years old in a long-term relationship, and we have a 3-year-old daughter. For the past 3 years, my significant other has avoided being sexual with me. I simply don't understand why she treats me in this manner. Now, since the beginning of our relationship, I would do anything she asked me to do, such as cutting ties with my best friend, who was never a bad influence, or stop pursuing my dream to become a dermatologist. This was to show her how much I am invested in our relationship, even though she's still not happy. Also, I'm not a confrontational type of guy, so even if she's at fault, I would simply agree with her, even if she embarrassed me in front of other people. I thought this will keep our relationship smooth, but it's doing the complete opposite. Our physical connection is not the same. It has gone from having sex maybe twice a week to now, if I'm lucky, once a month. There's no foreplay, She doesn't kiss me. And while we're intimate and while I'm smashing, she will say, like in her sergeant-like voice, hurry up. I have things to do. Just recently, she mentioned to me that she may need some space. Is this the definition of struggle love? And why does she continue to disrespect me and does not give me the love and affection I deserve?
Okay. Wow, for real? Gee, okay, listen. I'm coming straight to you, Tia. I need to know something.
I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to do that.
I need some help with this. We need some help with this one. Help us with this one. What you got to say about any aspect of that?
First of all, I feel like he was not himself when he came into the relationship. He made a lot of compromises that were presenting himself in a different way. And they weren't who he really was, and it wasn't what he really wanted. And he allowed her to be disrespectful at the start of the relationship. However you start the relationship is going to set the tone and the foundation of the entire relationship. And so because he did it, he started off that way, it's just continuing to escalate. She doesn't want him.
Plain and simple.
She doesn't want him. And he knows that, but he's not willing to let her go because he's invested so much into it. So he's emotionally attached and she's emotionally detached.
Wow. Miss Portia, you got any more insight on this this little troubled situation here?
Sure. He sounds like he has a lot of parts that really do love her. He wants to please her so much, yet he's emptying out himself. And in the meantime, he's receiving the backlash of her non-presence. She doesn't want to be there. She's probably there if he's doing well. She's probably there just because of that, for whatever she can provide for him. And too bad the child is in the mix of the middle. That non-intimacy with the woman, she's done.
That's a sure sign.
That's a wrap. Sound like it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Done. It's done. Yeah.
She put up her two fingers. She gone. She's physically there, but no, emotionally and sexually and any other way, she's gone. She's checked out.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound like she's a warm body there. So she's just there.
Wow.
Just her body.
You got anything you want to add, Mel Money, to that?
I agree with both Portia and T on this. I mean, for me, this brother doesn't have any moral codes, which are personal relationship principles that I believe an individual establishes and follows when looking for a suitable partner for a lifetime commitment or for a long-term relationship. And he definitely fits the description of a cupcake brother. And this is like a soft brother that has no spine. That's the definition of a cupcake brother.
Wow.
And these are the ones who possess, I feel like, that nice guy syndrome. And cupcake brothers all have that similar universal trait. Now, based off this letter, I believe this brother was taught at a young age that a man is supposed to place a woman on a pedestal based on her physiology. But truthfully, this brother should have been taught to respect and praise women based on their character. And I think this type of teaching programs a lot of brothers or cupcake brothers that is normal to exchange your self-respect for short-term validation. And sadly, it's a catch-22 situation because a lot of women that are in these relationships that they mold and control, they start to feel more masculine than their counterpart. And when this happens, I think the respect evaporates. It just goes away. Even though he's been doing all these things, like putting up with the constant disrespect and, you know, she's screaming like a drill sergeant to say, hurry up. I mean, it's sad.
Wow. Yeah. You know, one thing. Go ahead, Tia. You got something.
The bigger question I would have for this gentleman is, why does he feel like that's acceptable? And when he thought about getting into a relationship, is this type of relationship what he was looking for? Is this what he saw for himself? Because that's the real question. Right. The real question has nothing to do with her and everything to do with his belief about his own self as to why he feels this is an appropriate and a healthy relationship for him to be in.
Yeah, so
that's a good question. Yeah.
One thing I think, you know, that's an excellent question. And I think part of the solution or answer is the fact that I don't think this brother he did not invest time in figuring out what he wanted from a relationship, similar to what Mel said. And also, I don't think there was anybody there to help him understand what relationships are. One misconception a lot of people have is they think they can just jump in a relationship and it's supposed to work.
Yes.
Man, it's like everything else. You got to do some homework. You got to figure out exactly what it is. There's a science. There's actually a science to relationships.
Yes.
You know, it's not something. It's not a simple formula that you could just jump into. Be like, okay, I got this. Nope. That's why a lot of people say they should get counseling before relationships, because it gives you some of the keys and some of the things you need in order to sustain in that relationship. So a lot of people miss that, man. This brother definitely didn't have that. I could see that, you know. And then, you know, listen, I'm a little traumatized right now. I'm gonna tell you, because the part now where you read "Hurry up, I got things to do."
Yeah, that was.
I'm traumatized.
He shouldn't have even been excited at that point. That should have been. I mean, I don't know a man who can keep going at that. So he may have something going for himself, because he can keep going even with that kind of pressure. I don't know too many brothers that are not nice guys that can continue with that kind of pressure.
In the middle, smashing. Hurry up.
That's a true statement, man.
He's strong.
I'm speechless.
He's strong. He's strong.
I thought it was just me. Okay, my bad.
Speechless.
I need to know, did he finish?
No.
If he did, something might be wrong.
Do you have the cliff notes, man? On the find, you know, can you reach out?
No, I can't reach out to that color, man.
All right, so look, we probably not gonna resolve that on this show. No. There will be a continuous show. We may find out the answer to that question, but right now, that's our opener, man. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. That was just our refresher. We just getting open. So that's what we're gonna do. Today we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about why do nice guys finish last, and is the other woman winning, or are the side pieces winning? Now, the one thing I want to start with before we get into our subjects is the definition of nice, because I think a big part of this discussion, we need to kind of define that, because nice is not really definitive. It's just a descriptive word, right? It doesn't tell you anything in terms of character about a person, because there's subcategories of nice, right? What does that mean? So, you know, I bet a lot of you heard things like, he's such a nice guy. I mean, so let's just start right there, right? Hey, Mel, let me just ask you this question, man. If you was, you know, if you kind of was a fly on the wall and two ladies was talking, and you was kind of dating one, and she said, he's a nice guy. How would you take that? How would you take that?
You know, I would take that like, you know, she's not into me like that. She's not attracted to me. I feel that being nice doesn't entitle you to have the relationship. It's more than just being nice. You gotta have a backbone. You gotta have some sort of connection with that particular person. It has to be something that you both mentally can stimulate each other. If there's, you know, some sort of way that you guys could take it to the next level, but just saying he's nice. A lot of guys get into that trap like, I'm nice, why she doesn't want me? Well, that's just a small portion of the puzzle. Just a small.
Portia, any thoughts on that? If you were one of the ladies in the room and you were the one saying he's a nice guy, what would that mean? What does that mean?
So listen, let me tell you this about, I think, well, I'll speak for myself. At age 48 going on 49, nice means different things at 20, 30, 40, and now, you know, in my late 40s, 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Okay.
At 48, 49, you want a nice guy. It means something totally different than it did in my 30s. So a nice guy in my 20s and 30s, I think every woman wants a nice guy, but there's levels to that niceness. You don't want nice cupcake. You want nice, powerful, strong, a man that's going to say no. You want that type of nice.
Gotcha.
In your 30s and definitely in your 40s. Like late 40s, it just means something totally different. That's another topic.
Okay.
I completely agree with Portia. It definitely, I'm 46, so it definitely has different meanings. When I was younger in my 20s and I said he was a nice guy, that means he's not dateable, because what I was into at that time, he probably wasn't into it. When I'm 30 and I say he's a nice guy, that means I'm trying to convince myself whether or not I like him. When I'm 40 and I say he's a nice guy, that means he's dateable. So it definitely has different meanings to it, like Portia said.
So this very interesting, because this is what I want to give to our viewers. Doing this research, one thing I realized, I didn't even notice myself. One thing I realized is that nice is a foundation, right? So that means a guy is dateable, but that's not the end of the story. Like Mel said, that's not the end of the story. That just means, okay, you passed the first level of qualification, nice, right?
Right.
Then after that, which direction do you go, right? You gotta go one direction. You either nice with no backbone, weak, no kind of, no goals in life, or you go this way. You say you're a nice guy, but you got goals.
Right.
You got, what I'm saying, you're self-made man, etc. So you can go two different directions after you get by the nice foundation. Now, that's why I wanted to clarify the word nice. Mel, you got something you want to add?
No, I mean, that's completely right. I agree with everybody. I think that no matter what age bracket you are, having that nice guy syndrome can be it can really hurt you in the long run. I think that as a strong, grounded man, nice guys are the complete opposite. They have a hard time setting boundaries for themselves, and this often makes them feel like helpless victims. And when a broken man has this way of thinking, it puts them at a disadvantage in a relationship.
Absolutely. So look, I got some information from newsletters and blogs, and I just want to read something that I got out of one article. After I read this, then we're going to go into our topics and kind of discuss them. I just want to read this because I think it's something that's going to help somebody out there. And This is what it says. The answer to the question, why does the guy who doesn't appear to care as much about the girl get the girl? It's simple. The nice guy cares too much too soon. He has made the woman too important and too valuable, and it shows up in everything he says and does. He is too available, too eager to please, too accommodating, and he gives too much, all without getting anything in return. By doing this, he has made himself appear desperate, insecure, needy of this woman's attention, affection, and approval. And he has stripped himself of any value in her eyes. Why would she value him? She won't. She's not going to give him any more value than he values himself. What she is going to look for is someone else, someone who she perceives as being more worthy, more confident, and more valuable. It works like this. Once you need something or want it too badly, you forfeit your strength and lose all your power of negotiation.
Wow.
Miss Portia, help me.
Wow.
Is that accurate?
That sounds pretty accurate. Let me tell you something. No woman really wants, I think at any level, a thirsty man. We don't want a thirsty man. We want you to need us and like us and come to us. But it's like the pushback is real. If you come too hard at a woman, like she's gonna be like, oh, he something's wrong. Like he wants me way too much. And he could be a nice guy, strength guy, or he just could be so thirsty. I usually tell guys, before you go raw to a woman, feel your feet on the ground first, especially if this is someone that you really want to be with. But what you just read sounds a lot accurate.
Tia?
What you read is actually right on point. Typically, the nice guy or the gentleman who gets put into the nice guy category has given too much too fast. And it makes us back up because we're wondering what's wrong with you. What's the hidden thing? Because typically when you have somebody that's doing that like that, that's not the norm. And those are typical flags for somebody who can potentially become abusive or stalker or too clingy or possessive or controlling. We don't like that. We don't like that. So you immediately get friend zoned.
Now, Money, any thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you. A lot of brothers, when they see a fly ass woman, they want to lock it down in 2 days. And I know a lot of sisters can relate to that. I mean, when I used to go out, and when I do go out to promote DBDS, I'll see a lot of brothers that will buy that woman one drink and follow her around like he's the predator, like stalking, trying to lock it down. But these particular brothers have to realize that classy women are really attracted to leadership and certain assertiveness and confidence. And sometimes I feel like a nice guy doesn't have these characteristic traits that And this is what creates a scarcity mindset when it comes to the opposition. I feel like this is why it gives a lot of leeway for like the thugs and the bad boys to take some of these women off the market, because even though they have severe flaws such as cheating or being very abusive, one thing they have that the nice guy do not have is a backbone. And this goes back to that LRS triangle that I always preach a lot, which stands for strength, respect, and love, respect, and strength, with strength being the foundation. And normally when you have the strength as a man as the foundation, that energizes the respect portion and energizes the love portion. When you don't have that, and a woman can tell, because women are intuitive, you guys are emotional, and they can feel it, then it's going to make that woman lose respect for you. And if she loses respect for you, it's impossible for her to love you.
Boom. There it is right there. So look, while some of y'all find y'all backbone, we're going to take a quick 30-second break. And we'll be right back.
Are you single?
Oh my.
Are you single?
My commercial didn't work, so we're going to try that again. Here we go.
Dear brothers, it's about quality, not quantity.
So guys, it should be your conversation, the way you flow, your presence is enough for a woman to want to be around you, not how much money you spend.
Dear sisters, it's about knowing your value.
My sisters out there, don't be afraid to scare a guy off just because you have standards.
Dear brothers, dear sisters, it's time to come together. Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
All right, looks like we found some backbones. I can see out there, yeah. Some people got some backbones. All right, let's move forward. Listen, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go into our first topic. Why do nice guys finish last? One thing we want to talk about right now is, boom, nice guys finish last because they have no self-respect. So let's analyze that. It's self-explanatory on what we want to look for. Coming to you, Mel. Guys have no self-respect.
Yeah, this goes back to what I stated before we went on the break. You got to have that strength what energizes the love and respect portion in order for a woman to truly see you in that light. Not having that respect, not respecting yourself kind of equals to not having integrity. In other words, that you don't have no moral codes, you don't have no guidelines, you don't have no principles. And that's very important to a woman, for a man to have principles and guidelines, because when you have that, then you know that if she's doing something that's out of pocket, you can respectfully put her in her place, and she'll respect you for that. That makes her a better woman. And therefore, she feels like if you're coming out of line as well, she can vice versa talk to you about it, and therefore you respect her. So I think that everything starts with the foundation of you having respect for yourself, and a lot of nice guys don't possess those particular traits.
Tia, if a nice guy does not respect himself, can you respect him?
I can respect the nice guy who doesn't respect himself, because I'm going to respect anyone. Will I talk to you and date you? Probably not. But I'll definitely show him respect. I'm not going to disrespect you just because you don't necessarily have respect for yourself. I'm always going to treat you the way you should be treated, but I may not date you. I definitely won't date you.
The attraction is gone. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Miss Portia, what's your thoughts on this?
So that self-respect, no self-respect comes in a lot of times with the nice guy, because he doesn't understand the order of sequence in the relationship. He doesn't understand the order of sequence. So a lot of nice guys will try to fit into the world of the woman, when it's really, he should be seeking the woman that's going to fit into his world. But that again goes back to himself. If he has no respect for himself, he's not even going to put that foundation out there of what he even needs and wants. When a man understands what he needs and wants, that whole dynamic of what he's looking for because now he needs to fulfill his own world. That woman thing will look different to him, and he will begin to prey upon what he needs.
Woo, fellas, it sounds like you got to respect yourself, man. And what that means is you got to have some principles, like Mel stated. You got to have some principles. You got to have some guidelines. You got to have some standards that are set, and you got to live by that code. All right. So now we want to talk a little bit about the guy. The nice guy finishes last because he's too agreeable and he's too nice. Now I've seen this situation, and it's not good. So I'm gonna come to you, Tia. Help me with this too agreeable. Have you been in this situation? Have you seen it? What's your thoughts on this?
I don't think nice guys are attracted to me based on the descriptions we've been given, because I don't never get the ones that are too agreeable. I never get those. I always get the ones that want to challenge me. So it's always the alphas that are coming to me, and there's nice guys that are alphas, that are alpha males, and they'll play it down to fill you out and see where you are, to see how to get you. It's all about the chase, and it's all about their ability to not necessarily disguise, but decipher between what it is they want from you and how to get that. So if they got to pretend to be nice and agree with you initially to get your attention, then they'll do it. But that's not always who they are. So
that's what we call a counterfeit man. That's
exactly what that is.
We know about Mr. $2 bill. We know about him. All right. So what I want to say is I'm gonna say just a little thing before I go to Miss Portia and get a view on this here. I'm going to say I knew a situation where, matter of fact, I'm going to just tell you guys about this episode of SpongeBob that I saw. Yeah, I don't look like I watched SpongeBob, but SpongeBob is the bomb, man. Listen, SpongeBob is banging, right? So check this out, right? So SpongeBob told Mr. Squidly or something like that. He said, listen, man. He said, look, he came into some money. He hit the number or something. He said, listen, I got all this money. I'm dating this lady right here. He said, look at every time she wants something, man, I'm just throwing dollars at her. He said, look, take my money and you hold it. Don't give it to me for nothing. Right. So they went out to dinner, and SpongeBob is at dinner with this lady, and the lady says, it's a little chilly in here. And SpongeBob went to Squidward and said, listen, man, I need my money. I got to buy a coat right now. Squidward said, no, I'm not giving you no money. Listen, she's cold. I gotta get a damn coat right now. Right? So look, too nice, too agreeable, man. It's like way too accommodating. Women don't want that, man. You gotta, so Miss Portia, you got any thoughts on this? It's crazy. It's out of order right now.
Yeah, you know what? Let me tell you something. I always tell my male friends and the guys that I mentor, listen, make her but earn whatever it is you're giving to her. Make her earn it. She's supposed to fit in your world. Make her earn it. Don't just be doing this or doing that. You know what? Be creative, guys. SpongeBob should have took a piece of his sponge, take pieces of his sponge and just put it all over her. Here, girl, this is your warmth right here. Until he figures it out, because you don't need to be doing all that for a woman to like you. So men, be creative. You don't have to be too nice. Tell her ass no sometime.
Mel Money.
For me, this comes from a dishonest way of thinking, because these brothers are not authentic. And most of the times they agree with everything to avoid, I feel, conflict. And it's counterproductive, because you want to be able to learn off your partner. You want to be able to stimulate each other's minds, be opinionated, share your thoughts, your ideas, everything in a respectful manner. And I feel, in my view, this creates a positive friction. But if you have a brother that's acting like your identical twin, this will repress a man's true feelings, which is fundamentally dishonest. And this will also keep the brother stagnated. And when a brother is stagnated, that means that he doesn't have a mind of his own, or part of being a great leader is to make decisions, to take a risk. And, when it comes to that point, then pretty much she's not going to want to follow his lead. And believe me, a classy sister cannot naturally submit to a man who does not make any decisions.
No,
Oh God.
I
Yeah.
believe, in fact, she will
That's
get
so true.
frustrated
they're
Yeah.
annoying.
and lose respect, because a risk taker is a brother that makes decisions, whether it be yes or no, but he's opinionated and he just speaks his mind.
Yeah, no doubt. Listen,
Well said.
I heard something that we got to go off script for a minute because I heard something and I need some opinions on this. So Mel said if he's your identical twin. Now, I see a lot of situations where the men and the women dress alike. Now, I'm going to tell you right here. I saw a post like that and I put under it, if you see me drooling and I'm 90, or if you see me dressed exactly like my woman, sneak up behind me and shoot me in the back of the head. Now, that's just my own opinion. I'm trying to figure out what y'all think about this when people dress alike. Is that cute? Do you like that? Do you want somebody like that? I'm coming to you, Tia, because I see that look on your face. What you think?
No, don't dress like me. We can compliment each other if we're going to a special engagement, but I don't want to walk out the door every time I'm with you, we looking like the two Bopsy twins. That's a no for me. I need you to have your own style and be stylish, but don't come around looking like me. Don't go change your clothes and put on the same shirt I got on. I'm not doing that.
Portia?
So a lot of times, I don't know how this happens, but me and my guy, a lot of times we'll have on like the same colors. So a lot of times we're color coordinated and we're like, how did you know I was wearing that? Like, I don't know. The connection sometimes can be real in a certain way, but the identical of like, yeah, that Adidas or Puma's like suit or like the whole, like we got matching hats and all that. You know what? Let us be our unique selves because we are, two unique people. So, the color scheme, coordinating, that's one thing. But if it's not a special occasion, do you, boo?
Yeah.
Mel Money, you get down like that?
Nah, I don't get down like that. Listen, I'm very opinionated. I think that, believing a lot, contrary to a lot of belief, a lot of men think like if I agree with everything she says, I think that will pull her to me, which I think, in fact, it pushes him further away. It's sort of like that woman is the sun in the solar system. And the more that the man acts that way, that pushes him further from the sun. So he's going, Whereas when a man acts in a way that he's very opinionated, he states his point of view, even if you don't agree with him, and he says it in a flirty way and he backs it up with some substance, I think that draws a woman in. She's like, wow, this guy, he didn't like this part in the Avengers. I didn't like the Avengers, but he's breaking it from this point of view. Oh, I didn't know X-Men was really about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. And he's analyzing the movies and, they find that pretty sexy instead of a man that be like, hey, you say the sky is purple. And he'd be like, yup, sky is purple.
Yeah, that's so. How are you going to learn? How is the relationship going to have that
balance?
Have that ebb and flow if you're not constantly sharing and have some type of controversy, an agreeable light controversy, not like.
Well, I'll just say this in the words of a lady I know. She said, "Listen, I know about me. I want what I want. I need a long rope, but every now and then I need that rope yanked."
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
And that was it. That's what she said. And you know exactly what that is. You know what I'm saying? All right, y'all. So we about to switch up topics. We about to go into, is the other woman winning? Are the side pieces? Are those side pieces like winning, man? They sound like. So Mel, give us a little background on what you heard about this situation. Are the side pieces winning before we go into the topics?
Well, before we go into that, I want to give some shout outs. I want to give a shout out to everybody watching the show. Ashley, to Miss Lily, to Lena David, Amber, Geneva, Daryl, Donna, Tiff, Christina, Shell Jones, everyone watching. And Tabitha just made a comment about what we just discussing just now. She said, a whole mess, no self-identity. That's what I agree with everything.
Yeah,
which
no
is
doubt.
true.
Yes.
What's up, y'all? DBDS folks?
But yeah, a lot of women, some women been coming to me and they just feel like all of the women that just use their physical attributes alone with no substance to back it up, they think they're the ones that are getting married, are the ones that are getting wifed up and so forth. And I just have to explain to them that, listen, on the outside looking in, it may looks that way, but keep in mind that when the foundation is not built properly, that relationship is going to crumble. And I feel like this is why we have a high number of divorce rates, because that foundation wasn't planted in a proper manner. So, it's sort of like, as I stated earlier, eating McDonald's for a whole month, and it tastes good at first, but later on it's going to give you high blood pressure. It may even cause you to have a heart attack. And that's why I feel like when someone, whether it's the man that's being very destructive and abusive, and whether the woman just have no morals, no values whatsoever, that relationship is going to crumble. So that's why I try to tell my women out there that you may think they're winning, but they're not. Trust me.
All right, so let's go into this a little bit. So the position we took on this was we looked at signs, right? The signs for the primary woman to look at. So let's just jump into some of these subjects. So one thing you could look at is your man now maintains an extreme level of privacy. You know what I'm saying? If you go to like touch his phone or something, or you do something like that, he's all skittish and stuff. That's kind of a sign. So based on that sign, and those things that could happen based on that extreme level of privacy, let's talk about if we think the side piece is winning. Let me come to you, Miss Portia.
If he has an extreme level of privacy, yes, he's definitely hiding something. Either that or he's no longer into the woman that he's with. So the side piece chick, yeah, if it's that situation, someone is definitely winning on the other side.
Yeah, that's what I would say. All right, Tya, what's your thoughts?
I don't know if he has an extreme level of privacy equals there's a side chick. I don't necessarily know that. A lot of men are very private, and people as individuals are private. I don't want somebody going through my phone, and I'm not hiding anything. It's just my phone. Why would you be going through it? So I think that's a level of respect, as more so than cheating. Yes, sometimes it can be that they're cheating, but I don't think one equals the other.
Now, money.
Yeah, I have to, take Tya. I'm going to pick you back off of her, but I'm going to take it a step further. I feel that when a man really likes you, he's enthusiastic. He's going to share you to the world. And some men will use the line like, I don't want everyone in my business, or let's keep it on the down low. Now, at the beginning, listen, it's quite understandable because you're within the friend zone stage and you're taking the time to get to know each other. I understand that. But if you've been dating a brother for a few months and your relationship is still private, then more than likely he is rotating you on that stove. You're just on the front burner. That's it.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, he doesn't have to tell the people the little details what goes on in your relationship, but a man will let it be known that you're his woman. And simply he does that because he does not want another man to steal your affection. And another point I want to state out, that keep in mind, if your dates are always at his house or your house, but never in public, and instead of wine and dine, like right now I'm whining, right? And it's more like wine and grind, then that's another red flag that you're just a side piece. The side piece is winning. So be mindful of that.
All right. Hey, so let's go into the next one. What we want to talk about a little bit is he stops initiating romance and sex. All right. So is that side piece winning? Because he, what I'm saying, he used to be at you. You be in the kitchen washing dishes and blam, he sneak up on you. That ain't happening no more. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening no more. That's what it used to be. He has changed. Wow. Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? And then you be like, I got stuff to do. Hurry up. All right. Tya, what you think about this?
I think if he doesn't want to be intimate with you, that's a very clear sign there's somebody else he's intimate with.
Wow.
Very clear. Unless you're not good.
Well, hello.
Maybe there's some issues there.
That's another level.
He doesn't want to have sex with you because he's not satisfied.
Miss Portia?
Mo, did you swallow hard?
Mo ain't even Mo Uzi.
So yes, I also so considering that he does not have man issues going on, so a smart woman, if she's a wise woman, she would be like, hey, what's going on? Because this isn't happening. If there is no issue there, I also agree with Tya that there could be something going on with the woman where she's not satisfying him. Maybe she's like, hurry up, guy. I have other things to do. Like in the beginning of the show, it could be that, or
Right.
she might not be, making it hot enough for him. I will tell you something that I heard Miles Monroe say. He said men in their, late 40s and 50s, they need a little bit more than just a naked body in front of them. They need a little bit more because now they've seen all, probably all they're going to see sexually. They just need you to do a little bit more, boo boo. Dress it up, like try everything to make sure you don't want to accuse him that he's going out there. Try everything to ensure that is not you, because then there's another issue. So dress it up, lace it up, turn it over, flip it out, do what you got to do.
Swing from it.
There you go. Watch some videos and learn if you don't know how. So yeah, but if he's not, going to that person, another thing that guys will do is instead of starting it, or they'll pretend like they're starting it. And because you're like, oh no, get away from me. And then he creates that argument like, oh no, you never want this and that. And then he storms out of the house. He creates that argument to get out and see the side piece chick. So be careful of that as well.
Now money.
I agree with both points of views. I mean, if the brother has no man issues and then all of a sudden he stopped initiating the romance first, I think a sister should probe more and communicate to him. I see this happen too often when people come to Mo and I about their relationship. And I believe this is related to the pull and push technique. And this happens even before and during the relationship. This usually occurs when you are dating a person or you're in a relationship and they give you that romance and the quality attention in a unique and intriguing way. And then all of a sudden the opposition just stops automatically giving you that same attention that you was getting at the beginning. And once that person's guard is fully down, they start to wonder, is this something I'm doing wrong? And this subconsciously makes them want to chase that particular person even more, which means that she will forever be a back burner while he's doing this thing with the side piece. Because she's so emotionally invested into him because he was given all of that at the very beginning. And then all of a sudden it just comes to a halt.
Yeah, no doubt. So I just want to mention one thing before we go on this quick 30-second break is that and maybe I'll take some inputs on this, is that it seems to me like the side chick, the side piece would have a level of freedom that the primary woman does not have. For example, if she's in the house with this man and they got to deal with bills, they got to deal with the kids, they got to deal with other things, if there's not a solid foundation there, then the side piece becomes relief because guess what? You don't got to deal with all that with her. I'm wondering what y'all think about that. Tia, what do you think about that? Just give me some input on that right there.
I don't know what kind of side pieces you've been referring to, but most of the side pieces bills are getting paid. So you dealing with it with her as well, but you're not dealing with it on the level that you would deal with it when you're at home. At home, you might get the complaint that the bills are not getting paid or they need to be paid. With the side piece, you're paying them coming into the door. You're not just walking in, enjoying yourself. You're taking care of that. That's a given. That's an unspoken understanding that you're going to take care of this house, and we don't even have to talk about it, so it's not an issue there.
Miss Portia?
In my experience of dealing with my male friends or people that I deal with, their side pieces are their joy. So they usually go into that dynamic on a total different level than they deal with their main person at home. So it's, look, usually the side, well, obviously the side piece knows that she's the side piece normally, especially if he's a married man and this woman accepts the role, then she then comes under everything that he wants to do. So he's like, look, I'm coming to you for this, but I got my piece at home. I got this thing at home. Usually there's some type of understanding, especially if it's a long-term side piece. There's an understanding that, okay, give me joy, give me this, give me everything I need. And that woman has to do it. She's in prison. That side piece is really in prison because she can't go anywhere. She's accepted these terms. She's accepted that she's one thing for him. And if he doesn't get it, he's like, you know what, I got to go back home. And so a lot of times the side pieces They're only dedicated to the man. So they're losing like all the time. I would never want to be in that position.
Now,
Ever.
money.
I think both women are losing because, you know, the brother is doing his thing with the side piece, and she has, you know, he has his coleslaw, you know, on the side, and, you know, he got his main entree. And, you know, when both women realize that it's a game and it's a front that he's doing, they're not really getting that whole man at all. You know, it's like he wants two women of different attributes and combine them as one. But since they don't, you know, one probably has the physical aspects and the emotional aspects, and the other one just have something for the excitement portion. You know, he's playing both sides pretty well, you know, and the woman that's a side piece, you know, sees, and people don't realize that a lot of women think just sex is just a casual thing. But once a woman is so emotionally invested, that puts her at a disadvantage to stick with a man that's already committed to a relationship. But the double-edged sword comes that if he was, which he never will, if he was to get away his entree to be with the coleslaw, he knows he's not going to get that nourishing meal from that coleslaw, because it's not going to give him the same ingredients that he was getting from the entree that gave him the emotional set and that person that been with him from day one.
Yep, and he's gonna be just like that drone and die off as soon as he gets with her. They just die off quick.
Yeah.
So more power to him.
No doubt. So look,
you know, I tell my sisters out, man, don't be coleslaw, man. Don't.
Coleslaw.
You know.
all you people going to Popeyes and KFC, make sure you get an extra coleslaw. We'll be right back in about 30 seconds.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
Back in DBDS Live Studio. What's up, everybody? We're here. We got Mel Money. We got Tya. We got Portia. We're talking about nice guys finishing last and whether the other woman is winning. The side pieces are taking over, right? We talking about that. So right now, we're about to go back into why do nice guys finish last. And what I want to talk about now is nice guys finish last because they're too nerdy. They ain't got no skill. They ain't got no style. They ain't got nothing. Let's talk about that. Mel Money, man. They're too nerdy. What's happening with this?
You know, I don't think there's nothing wrong with being nerdy as long as you have some swag behind it. You know, and the nice guys, like for example, myself, I'm a very nerdy person. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I like to ski. You know, a lot of brothers don't like to ski, but you know, that's something I like to do. But the thing is, a lot of nice guys, they just don't. They develop this pattern of avoiding expressing their opinions and their feelings, and they don't have any swag to back it up. And also, they let other people violate their rights, and they don't stand up for themselves. And again, this is where you have to. This is where a brother has to change his mindset by respecting himself, possess integrity, make more decisions, remain confident. And you know, once you have that in your stone, and you can be nerdy, you will attract quality women. Trust me.
Tya, nerdy men.
Negative.
What you think? Nah, not for you.
No interest. You gotta have you. I don't like them. There's nothing a nerd can do for me. I'm sorry. We can have conversations, and I can be your friend. I can be your best friend and tell you how to get women through your nerdiness. But as far as an interest in them,
That is so sweet.
I need you to have a little edge to you. You can't just come over here with your glasses and no.
Miss Portia.
Listen, I loves me a nerdy man. I love a nerdy man. Let me tell you, this is something at levels. This is something, again, that is another thing at levels. At 20, no, I don't want to be with nobody nerdy. I'm nerdy enough myself. I didn't need that extra look. So 20s, 30s, you really don't want it. Again, an age thing. You don't mind having the man that's reading all the time, or, you know, to me, when I think of nerdy, I don't really think of clothes or style. I think more of the nerdy guy, you know, that's reading all the time. He knows everything, yet he's humble enough to weigh back let me tell you something. Nerdy guys always go for ladies always go for the smart nerdy guy, especially if he has a short torso. Those are the type of guys, and they're a little bit shorter than you. Those are the type of guys that are going to take care of you. Trust me.
Don't do that, y'all.
Trust me, ladies. Those are the type of guys. If you really want to get, those are the type
Don't
of
do that,
guys.
y'all.
Be nice to them because they are going to be the ones that are going to kiss your feet.
But here's my thing, man.
I love the nerdy man.
No money.
But here's the thing. Okay, see, my definition of a nerdy guy with swag is someone, like Nas. You know what I'm saying? Someone like that. I'm sure a woman will find him attractive because not only that, that dude read lots of books, very intelligent.
Intellect and nerd. No, he's not. Nas is nowhere near nerd.
Let's define nerdy.
Let's define nerd. Yes.
Dorky looking, glasses, baby, high water pants, kind of.
Oh, well, that's all the men now.
Oh, you mean like Bill? Okay.
Like Steve Urkel, nerd.
With the suspenders and everything.
So you want to date him, Portia? You go out with Steve Urkel?
So that's nerdy appearance. Like, I don't know. I would probably be attracted to his brain. Like, I need a guy that's gonna feed me here. You can always rearrange the outside, baby. It's the inside that I need you to come direct with. So I will take a nerdy man over the other stuff.
See, but isn't it true that women are attracted more to the emotional factor? As men, we're more about visual. When we see a woman, I think women, as long as you have some good game in the way you talk, whether you're nerdy or not, and this is why I see a lot of rough brothers with some fly ass women. They know how to pull the emotional factor in, and it'd be some people be like, "Wow, how he end up with her?"
He got between her ears.
The emotional factor. So I think whether you're nerdy or whether you're big and bloated, like or Flavor Flav or whoever the case may be, you can definitely get that emotional factor by women. Trust me.
I agree with you 100%. Everything you said is true because it is about the emotional or the mental connection. You can have a nerdy guy connect with a bad chick.
I see a lot of these brothers.
Look, I got with one. I have a son with him. We share a kid together, and he's a complete nerd, but he was sweet, and he did what I wanted at that time, and he was nice, and it kind of just was like, all right, cool. But when you started talking about settling down, it was a no for me.
Wow. Why, Tia? I just want to know.
I knew that I couldn't give him what he wanted. He deserved more than what I was willing to give him.
Okay.
And that's me being honest. He deserved a woman who loved him back the way he loved me, and I didn't love him like that.
Okay.
I liked him.
He was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
Nerds, there's hope out there.
There are a lot of hope. There's a lot of hope for nerds. And if you are really a nerd, do not change who you are.
No. Right.
Change the dynamic of what you're searching for, and do not try to fit into the woman's world. You need a woman that's going to fit into your world.
Exactly.
And it sounds like for the nerds, what their attractiveness is going to be is mental stimulation, right? Yeah. So y'all need to come with that crazy mental stimulation. So, you know what I'm saying? When after you finish talking to her, she's sweating and everything. You know what I'm saying? Then you know what I mean, right? All right, so y'all got it. All right, so we're gonna go on to the next thing. The next thing we want to talk about is nice guys are boring. Okay, that's part of. So look, I'm gonna do my little expose right here and just tell you, I think this is one of the primary keys to why the nice guy doesn't last, because I think you could be nice, but you got to be interesting. Remember I said sneak up behind her while she's washing dishes and smashing chocolate chip cookies all over the counter? That's what you got. You could be nice, but you need to be gruff like that. You know what I'm saying? And get raw like that. Mel Money, what you think about this?
Nah, I agree with you, brother. I mean, like my DBDS brother Ken always said, you got to have that edge. And I usually tell brothers to enjoy life and do exciting things. So when that woman comes into your life, she's an added bonus. And this is why it's so important to be unpredictable. And you have to keep her mind stimulated. You got to keep her emotions engaged. I believe, back to what I stated earlier about the bad boys, I believe certain women who are attracted to bad boys are drawn into that negative emotional roller coaster with constant verbal abuse, boundaries that are always crossed, and they always forgive, forget, and repeat, which is an endless cycle of mistreatment. Now, if you're with a nice man with a backbone, he can give that classy woman the same feeling on that positive emotional roller coaster. That's with creative dates, assertive communication, engaging discussions, charming surprises, and so much more.
No doubt. Miss Portia, nice guys are finishing last because they are boring.
Yeah, let me tell you something. So this is why the nerdy guy wins, because
Okay.
the nerdy guy, he is creative. He is going to do things out of the norm. He's not going to just sit and be like, oh, I don't fly, I don't go on a boat, I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't ski, I don't do this, I don't do that. Oh, you like to go to the ocean and swim in seaside water? Ooh, I'm not getting in there. No, I don't like my feet in the sand. Like, you must be creative, men. No woman, especially as she gets older, she does not need a boring man in her life. Be creative. Do some things out of the norm. If you have a fear, get over it, because you cannot lead in fear. You just can't do it.
Right.
So Tia, I got this. What was that? Go ahead, Miss Portia.
No, I was going to say she's going to drop him like a hot potato, and then she'll be having her own side piece.
No doubt. No doubt. She'll have her own side of coleslaw, right? All right. So Tia, I got this brother. I mean, he laced everything. He's fly, he look good, this and that, but he's boring. What you think?
I could be by myself if I want to be bored.
There you go.
I don't need a man to be bored.
More
there it
bored
is right
than
there.
Yeah, no.
Don't be boring, fellas. It's not good for you.
Yes.
So check it out. We got about 4 minutes left. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for a little quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna do our Jerry Springer final thoughts. We're gonna come back and give you a little summary. Stay tuned. In about 30 seconds, we'll be right.
Are you single? Do you know about dbdssingles.com? Are you ready to meet a quality man or a classy woman? The DBDS brothers want you to know that love and loyalty still exists. So if you're ready to meet relationship-ready people, sign up for a free trial. dbdssingles.com, where quality men meet classy women.
Boom, back at DBDS Live. I scared the hell out of Tia. I saw it jump like that. So look, this is what we're gonna do. Here's the thing, man. I just gotta say, man, I just got to say thank you guys for being out here, because every show I learn something. It's amazing. You know, I always learn something. I thought, nobody knows everything, right? But it's just amazing that I keep learning things and learning things. It's a good feeling. So thank you guys for being on the show. I'm going to come to you, Miss Portia, to give your final words to our DVDS people and everybody else watching. Miss Portia.
So men, be creative. Love yourselves. Self-respect first. Know what it is you need in your lives, and search for the woman that will fall under that mantra for you.
All right, Tia.
Fellas, keep it classy, keep it cool, but not too cool. And definitely don't be boring.
Mel Money.
Well, first off, I want to thank Portia and Tia for coming on to the show. This has been a treat and an honor for both of you to appear on our show today.
Thank you.
So, yes, absolutely. So I was going to say that being the average nice guy, as I mentioned, individuals have to get out that mindset and start expressing their opinions and their feelings. And for my sisters out there, always put character first before anything else, which will help you to determine if he's the right man for you.
Yep.
A combination of your stunning physical attributes along with substance to back it up will have men fall in love with you, versus relying on your physical attributes alone will have men fall in lust with you. And you can't help who you're attracted to, but you can't help who you can entertain. So just be mindful out there.
All right. And again, I just want to thank our guests, Portia and Tia. And let me just say my final words are this right here. What I learned just doing the research and as part of this program is that nice is a foundation. That's just a start point, right? You can be nice. There's nothing wrong with being nice. The problem is the character that you attain after that. Okay, so you could be nice, but you got to be interesting. You got to have a backbone. You got to be, somebody who has goals, who wants things in life. You got to have morals. You got to have standards. You got to put that with your total package. So you could be a nice guy, but put that with your total package. And listen, sometimes you just gotta goddamn say no. You can't have it. I'm telling you right now.
Yes.
I've done it, and it's like, yo, it's kind of liberating actually. But no, I'm just joking. But listen, sometimes you just gotta say no, man, and because you feel like saying no, you want to say no, and you can't be somebody you're not. So just say no. You know, you work it out. You got to compromise, right? Mel Money, set us off, man.